Look at this. Yo, if that's not stuck in your head, like, I cannot get it out. Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Beautifully Nerding. I'm your host, Bri, and I've said before that I am a series girly, okay? I love getting time to fully grow and develop and get to know our characters. So that's why I'm always super excited when a show gets renewed for a very well justified season 2. Now, while I'm not much of a horror girly, I love a good fantasy, sci-fi adventure. So that's how I am going to classify this show. So this week I want to talk about Them Season 2. I don't know the exact date, but it just came out on Prime Video, and I didn't even realize that they were renewed for a season 2. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about it, and I was like, wait a minute, let me go see what this is talking about. And I loved season 1 so much. Now, had I been a person who reads the log lines of stuff before I start to watch it, I would have known that season 1 already said that the show was going to be an anthology. But I didn't know that. But the way that season 1 ends, like, it kind of makes sense. That's like, there's nowhere to go from here. But season 1 of Them is described as a 1950s set covenant centers around a black family who moved from North Carolina to an all-white Los Angeles neighborhood during the period known as the Great Migration. The family's idyllic home becomes ground zero where malevolent forces, next door and otherworldly, threaten to taunt, revenge, and destroy them. Now, does that not sound like fun? Like, it's giving very Lovecraft Country. So that's why I was super excited when Them came out, because it came on the heels of Lovecraft Country, and then we weren't getting another season of Lovecraft Country, and I was real sad about it. I'm glad that Them is an anthology because that alone can cover so many bases. So I'm so excited to see, like, where exactly we could possibly go. And American Horror Story has so many seasons, so like, why can't Them? And so we're here to talk about season 2. And season 2 it's 1991, and LAPD homicide detective Dawn Reeve is assigned to a new case, the gruesome murder of a foster home mother that has left even the most hardened detectives shaken. Navigating the tumultuous time in LA with the city on the razor's edge of chaos, Dawn is determined to stop the killer, but as she draws closer to the truth, something ominous and malevolent grips her and her family. Now, that already sounds like, in theory, something that I would be too scared to watch. And this first episode was definitely like, are you sure about this? Because like, I'm real jumpy, I'm real anxious, like the most of us. I don't do well with being scared. But Them is just so good. I couldn't resist it. The entire season is currently available to watch on Amazon Prime, but I like to take things slowly. So I only watched the first episode. I have some thoughts, and I wanted to come and talk to y'all about it. So we have our two main characters. We have Detective Dawn Reeve, who is a beautiful, goal-oriented, career-driven woman. So we know she's about to deal with some trauma. So the starting crime of the show is about a foster mom who was seemingly extremely abusive to her wards and winds up dead. But their body is like all kinds of twisted up. The detective interviews one of like the older foster kids, and like he's real shaken up by like the sound of cracking joints. So you know that this kid like fully heard what happened, because the way that the foster mom is like bent up in his cabinet.
I also know that you must have heard something.
I was called out to that house once or twice. I was a patrol officer back then. And I remember because I saw a few kids. And those kids all looked real scared of Ms. Mott. Now, were you scared of her? Not now. But you were.
But fortunately for the kid, Dawn is really protective and, you know, wants to go about this the right way. And it's like, hey, do you want a lawyer? And so the detective also interviews that boy's little sister, Kia. And Kia gives a little bit more detail about what actually happened that night. and said that Miss Mott was afraid that someone was in the house. She wouldn't go to sleep. She wouldn't let the kids go to sleep. Like, she was extremely paranoid. And so next we have Edmund. Edmund gives very much Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Like, he's a struggling, disrespected actor who's currently working as a kid's entertainer with dreams of Hollywood. And he has a crush on this woman who, like, may or may not actually like him back, or may just be being polite. We don't fully know just yet. But essentially, Edmund feels like he's destined for so much more, and the world is just constantly disrespecting him. And he's starting to get to a point where he's not about to take this anymore. Like, we can see the, like, diabolical gears turning. It's kind of scary. So Edmund gives the receptionist lady that he has a crush on some tokens to the not Chuck E. Cheese place that he works at for her son. And honestly, I blame Five Nights at Freddy for any type of, like, Chuck E. Cheese type of establishment that just seems even creepier by comparison, because Chuck E. Cheese was already a creepy place when you think about it. But after Edmund's audition, instead of going home, he sits outside of the studio and, like, waits for the lady to come out. And when she does come out, she comes out with the guy who was, like, working the camera while Edmund was doing his audition. And Edmund was auditioning for, like, Gangster Number 3. Edmund has no gangster in him. And so it was just coming off like, we're gonna shoot you, bud. And, like, it was just real super corny, and the guy was laughing at him. So seeing his crush and, you know, his op coming out together really rubbed Edmund the wrong way. But eventually the receptionist does come to the arcade to see Edmund and, like, bring her son. And of course, Edmund is super great with kids. Like, you gotta let those walls down so that he can go in and do whatever little creepy stuff he's gonna do. Like, I'm real terrified for this little boy. But back with Detective Dawn, she, like, recorded herself walking through the crime scene. And so she's listening back to that tape to kind of, like, recreate the crime scene itself as far as how they found Miss Mott under the kitchen cabinet. As soon as I saw her taking the cleaning products out from under her own kitchen cabinet, I was definitely confused as to why it was happening. I'ma let her cook. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna let her cook. But of course, while she's doing this, we see a bunch of, like, creepy stuff happening in the background. So, like, whenever her son is playing on the drums, she'll come in and, like, flash the light to get his attention because he has, like, little noise canceling headphones on. Like, good for you for protecting your hearing. So she'll flash the light and be like, hey, like, get off the drums. While Dawn is in the kitchen under the cabinet, her son is in the garage playing the drums, and we see the lights do a little flicker. But, like, there was no one standing there to flicker the lights. He didn't think to turn around because he's just so used to his mama coming to flip the lights that he just assumed it was his mama. Like, he even responded in the way that he usually does to his mama, but no one's there. And then, like, we see the, like, garage lights, like, flicking on. And it was so many seeds that were planted, and it's like, these are lingering shots because we know it's foreshadowing, and it just made me even more scared. And I was just watching, like, the outside floodlights are coming on, but no one's there. And then the outside floodlights explode, and no one's there. And it's just like, wait a minute. This means that our enemy is invisible? It took me like 2 years to finish Invisible Man, okay? Like, it got to the one part where the sisters were having dinner and the utensil went floating, and then it met its target and there was no more sister. Like, that part scared me so much. I had to stop the movie. I had a full-on panic attack. I had to go. Like, it took me so long to finish that movie because it's the unknown. Like, you can't see anything. And granted, I understand that in the filming of it, that no one is there, right? I get that. Like, I get the logic behind it, that no one is actually there, right? But in the universe of the TV show, I am supposed to believe that there is an invisible entity who is doing all of this malevolent things to other people, and I just get really into it, and I get really, really scared. So I'm very scared. It is only episode 1. I do have a theory for what's going to happen in the show before I go and finish the full season, because probably by the time like y'all really see this and get commented on it, like hopefully I will have finished it, but I may honestly take this one episode at a time because I'm already scared. So we know from Dawn talking to baby Kia that she had an imaginary friend when she was younger, because she was a bit of a loner. She didn't really make any friends. We also know that Detective Dawn is a bit of an interesting duck from when she crawled under her own kitchen cabinet to recreate how they found Miss Mott. Now, I can't tell if she was dislocating her joints or she was just real super double jointed, but it was getting a little creepy. I think that these imaginary friends that people are maybe like making as children are either somehow getting angry that they are no longer relevant in the lives of the folks who made them, or are extremely overprotective of their kids and see that the kid is in danger. And I haven't fully processed what Edmund's role is. Like, maybe he influences the son to create his own imaginary friend so that Edmund can like actualize his frustration against the cameraman dude and like remove that dude from the picture so he can holler at his mom. I don't fully know what Edmund's role is. All I know is that I feel like Edmund should not be allowed around children. But yeah, honestly, I really don't know anything at all because I've watched 40 minutes of the entire season. I'm really excited to see where it goes, but I'm definitely going to take my time with it because scaredy cat right here. But yeah, what do y'all think of them season 2? Have you watched it yet? Are you gonna watch it? I think this might be my replacement for American Horror Story because I only watched 2 seasons of it. I watched the very first season, which I don't remember the sub name, and then I watched season 3, which was Coven, because I love magic, and that was it. All the others, like season 2, I skipped because I don't like hospitals, so I don't want to watch a haunted hospital. The other stuff, I stopped caring once I was like, oh, this is different people. I don't care no more. But yeah, if you all have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye.